So now I've tied in the section here. That's now welded in. So this is forming my lip here that I'm going to build off for this wing bottom, edge bottom. I now need to sort of concentrate on this corner here. Now, I've had a little look at this off camera this morning. It's early the next morning, obviously. This piece riveted on here needs to come off, and that needs a new section in here. Now then, I'm going to have to make a piece to go in here with a compound curve on it. This is the old piece. You can see it curves round here to the piece I've made, and around here to the piece I've made again here. So this is what we call a compound curve, bends in both directions. It then has a lip on the side, which I can weld on afterwards, so I don't need to worry about forming that lip. And then it connects to this section where the tailgate used to be. Now, there isn't going to be a tailgate on this car, to the best of my knowledge. He was debating it, and he's not really sure. So, if I get the shape slightly off and he doesn't want to run a tailgate, which is fine. I mean, bear again, it's a strip car, not a street car. So if I get the shape a little off, that doesn't matter. Now, I am not a panel beater. I can make sections and weld them in, but shaping materials is a very, very skilled task. You can see I've cut a piece of steel and I've put a couple of dints in there with the ball peen hammer. I'm going to have a crack at this. The way I approach things like this is if someone can do it, I can do it. I may not be able to do it as well. I may not be able to do it as quick. But I don't have the machinery. I don't have English wheels. I don't make bespoke panels. I would use normally, if this was a big paying job, I would use a section. So for example, if I was actually getting paid for this job, I would buy probably something. I've got the old back section of a Mini here that was bought new. I don't use second-hand bits of steel, obviously, unless I have to, for shapes and things. In fact, that's ridiculous. I never use second-hand pieces. But this is a new piece. That was what was left from a piece. I've cut the bottom off. So basically it's just a big offcut, but it's got some nice shape in it. However, the shape in that isn't tight enough to form this. So I would still have to modify that again. So what I'm going to try and do is shape this panel. It's not an easy job. And as I say, I'm no expert on it at all, but I'm going to have a go at it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Plan B is just to make it a nice sort of square section that goes in there. Just to fill the gap, basically, as long as it aligns with the shut line there where the tailgate used to be and the curve on the base. It could just come down square at the bottom. I don't want it to. I want it to be a nicer shape than that. Right, so where I montaged it there, like these fancy words, you can see that I've beaten that quite heavily with a ball peen hammer. That has then stretched the material out, so it's made it thinner and thinner there, and it's stretched it in different directions. You can see a crease has formed here. Now I'm going to have to cut that, purely because I don't have a shrinking machine and I can't shrink it with the hammers. So I shall cut here. I shall probably put another cut here as well at some point, but I'd rather that material try and form itself. You can see again here it's doing it. So I need to put a slight slit down there as well. It's very rough initially. However, as you can see, it is starting to take the form. Obviously those dints will have to be beaten out, but it's starting to get there. I need to tighten that bend a little here. Keep trying it on the material and having a go, you know. I've no problem about getting rid of those dints afterwards. I've done that before. This thicker stuff is much more difficult to beat. Thin stuff is a lot easier. So you've just seen me beating on this quite a lot now. The shape is getting there. It is obviously still just a rough shape. What I've decided to do is make an edge for here. Hopefully you can see that. As you can see, the shape is pretty blooming close there. So what I'm going to do is use that as a guide, weld that on there like I did before, because that shape is now good, and that will put some strength into that section and stop it pulling it about quite so much. And then I can shape this more and cut it off to where it fits to the piece that I welded in yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to weld this in now. I'm just going to spot it in a few little runs. I want it to be able to be removed if necessary. So off cam there, what I've done is continue to beat on this somewhat. You'll see it's still dinted. Normally I'd relieve those dints before I welded it in, but this being such a funny shape and having very little to work with, I'm having to sort of go along with it. Also, I'd usually weld this up fully, but I can do that on the panel, that's no bother. As you can see, it's reasonably straight here, and reasonably straight here on there. There's a few wiggly wobblies in there, but it's not too bad. So I've clamped it, and what I'm going to do is put a weld, if you can see there, right in the corner there. That should allow me to then manipulate this to make sure with a straight edge it's straight in every direction, and then I can clamp it up here using the bigger clamps. I've got a little clamp there holding it in place roughly. There is a small overlap. I've done the same as before and made it absolutely flush here. I'm obviously going to have to do that by hand, and I'll pull that nice and square when I weld that in. Nice big spot there, just the one, so it can act as a pivot. Obviously if you're wiggly wobbling it about too much, it's going to break off. But I will weld that on now. So, quick single spot there. I've done a little row of spots just to strengthen it up. What you can't see there is I've overlapped this edge piece that I've tacked on that goes underneath here into the good metal here. And I'll show you that a bit closer up in a second. Just turn the welder off. So, as you can see now, the shape is still off there. But what I'm going to do is make this square, pull this all to shape. All to shape here, so that's square down that edge and square down that edge. So the front face is square to this corner. It does have a slight curvature in it from the standard, but I'm going to try and maintain that, but as close as possible. Square down the edge of the bed, because it would be square there. And then what I'll do is I will trim these off as I get to shape and clamp them up and weld them in. Okay, the shape is pretty good, and then what I'll do is with my hammer and dolly. Metalwork hammer and dolly, I'll then dolly these dents out afterwards. I'm going to try and get that as smooth as I possibly can. Obviously it's a lot easier once you've welded it in place. I don't think the metal is going to need to move a huge amount to shrink and grow those dents out of there actually, but it's easier if it's solid. I don't want to wreck the shape of the panel obviously, but unfortunately it's kind of a must do on this section. So these will be butt welded. These will be butt welded, so they will be flush welded down there. This is a slight overlap, as you can see here. I can't weld that yet because obviously there's a massive gap, and trying to fix that would be a nightmare. This part is good, but I want to remove that clamp her up here, and then I'll start, and what I'll do is I'll weld across the top here once I'm happy with the shape of the form here. So that's that pulled together. As you can see, nice tight gaps all the way around. You can't get good welds if you don't have tight gaps. They've cooled a little. Now this needs pulling. It's straight that way in this plane here, but it needs to go in a little there. So I'm going to manipulate that a tiny bit to pull that in, and then start to pull these in and weld them in, get them tacked, cut, and ready to go in there. You can see there that I've opened that one out a little bit too far. I opened that was probably about 3/8 of an inch at the top, and I thought, gosh, I've cut way too much out there, but as I've moved it all around, it's closed the gap back up. I'm then going to pull these close to this shaped piece here, and then start and tack them around. Ladies and gentlemen, after a lot of hammering, dollying, tacking with the welder, angle grinding, bashing, squaring, donking, swearing, donking, welding, and swearing some more, I've got that piece shaped to where I want it now, meeting up to the existing piece. You'll notice I've also cut the existing piece and dollied that round to show the shape. It's not an easy thing to see at the moment, especially covered in spot welds. And that's the edge that needed to go down here and end about 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 off the end there. This now needs seam welding, but as you can see, the fit there is actually very good. There's a big gap here that I'm going to have to weld up, but that's no biggie for me. I don't mind that at all. And a little bit of dollying as I go along and shaping on bits like this. There's a high spot there I need to get rid of. There's a couple of little highs there that I need to get rid of before I weld it up, but then I will weld it continually. It'll be seam welded all the way around. And because of the grinding and welding, I will probably weld it up on the inside as well. That can just be sealed, you know, just a tidy up with the welder and then sealed over, and that'll just add a little bit of extra strength. But to be honest, for reasonably thick material and the fact that I am not a panel beater or a metal shapist, I'm really rather pleased with that. I'm running out of media storage, I'm running out of battery, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to record you there. I shall weld it up, I shall grind it back, give it a little bit more hammering and dollying, which is going to take me a couple of hours, and then... So there's the pretty much finished article. Is it perfect? Not really. It needs a little bit more bodywork, a little bit more hammering and dollying out, just to get the last few of the dints out. It's a lot better than it was. It needs a tiny bit more work. It would just fill as it is, but I'd rather get it a lot better than that before I put any filler in. It's not perfect. But to be fair, for a piece that you cannot get, that's about as good as you're probably going to get, short of paying somebody who's bespoke in this sort of manufacture. It's smooth, it's not too bad. Fair few hours in it. The lip at the bottom now, the shape is correct, obviously that way, the shape is correct along the edge there, as you can see. I now need to repair this section inside, but I'm not going to do that on a video. I'll stop it here purely because I've run out of memory card and battery. But yeah, quite enjoyed doing that, to be honest with you. This is for a friend, it's for a racing car, it's not a restoration or anything like that, it was just a body repair. So yeah, to make it out 1mm thick steel as well is quite a task. But yeah, the shape's pretty good for me. Hope you like it, hope it's some help. Give it a go, you know, worst thing that can happen is you waste a bit of steel in a couple of hours of your life. You know, if somebody can do it, you can learn to do it. Never forget that. Cheers, bye-bye.